Hello there, my name is Thomas Kralov and welcome to my YouTube channel where we talk all things trading, finances and money in general. Today's topic is the almighty overnight success. Is it real? Is it possible? How you could achieve overnight success and the actual reality behind the concept of overnight success. Right, without any further ado, subscribe to this YouTube channel and let's get right into it. You know, when you're on Instagram a lot, and a lot of us are, those who don't have anything better to do, we always see these expensive cars and watches and cash and private planes and etc. And we think, oh my God, this would be so awesome. This guy is so young, I could do it too. He's an overnight success. And we unwillingly fall into believing that there is such a concept as overnight success. So I've decided to make this video to burst the bubble of quite a few people and to tell the real truth and the likelihood of the concept of overnight success and use myself as an example. Now, don't get me wrong, please. There certainly are exceptions. So there certainly are people who suddenly were in the right place at the right time and they've made a lot of money really fast and they just keep on doing it. I don't know. There are such examples. Me personally, I don't know these kinds of people, but they're there. So don't spam the comments saying that you know a bunch of people like this. Maybe. So I'm not saying that they don't exist, but I think that out of 100% of successful people, probably 1 or 2% at the most are gonna be overnight success. Most of the time, even if you look at the biggest names as Elon Musk, for example, he's disrupting so many industries right now. He is again reclaimed the throne of officially the richest man in the world. And this guy, he has failed so many times before, it's insane. I mean, he's a billionaire, but a multi-billionaire. But is he an overnight success? No. Is Jeff Bezos an overnight success? No. Was Steve Jobs? No. Who is? I mean, probably maybe some famous singers or some IT guy, I don't know, but even then, I know some tech entrepreneurs who are multi-millionaires. Those people have a higher net worth than me by like 5-10 times. And they are maybe a year older than me, or some of the guys are actually younger than me. But a lot of people would think, oh wow, but they're an overnight success, you know, so fast, so awesome, but not really. Let's take me as an example. So, I mean, it really depends on how you define success. If you define success as $1 billion, then I'm terribly unsuccessful. But if you define success as making a few million before turning 30, then I would probably say that I'm quite successful. And the question is, was it overnight? And for me, oh Jesus, Lord Almighty Christ, it wasn't. The thing is that from the point when I actually started doing something and thinking about work and money and businesses, it's been 10 years since when I started. And I started, and I have some older YouTube videos in this channel where I've described how I was making like around $5,000 a month as a teenager back when I lived in New York. There were quite a lot of awesome things that I was able to pull, and I was buying and selling electronics and cars that did a bunch of funny stuff. But it worked. I mean, I always found an opportunity. So what I'm trying to say is that I started young. So I started young, and I'm still young, but I started really young, like 10 years ago. And within the first 3 years, I didn't really make anything. I mean, I was making maybe like 2,000 here, 5,000 there, and that was pretty much it. And I mean per month, not per day or per minute or anything, of course. So, and a lot of the things that I tried, I made a little bit of money maybe on flipping cars, and then I tried to open a small business and it failed. To be honest, I should probably do a separate video on all of my failures, all the things that I've done before actually finding myself in something that actually worked for me. But the time period between when I started working and trying to find something to make good money off of till the point when I actually did start making good money, I would say it was probably around 3 years. So for 3 years, I was just going mental. I was working a lot, and I was also attending a university. My life was just insane, like the rest of it anyway as well. And nobody could show me the way. So I did not have rich parents. I did not have a rich daddy, and I grew up without a father, just with a single mother and a grandmother, and that's it. So, and they were not, you know, entrepreneurs or anything. My mother was, we would probably be considered lower middle class. That when I was much younger, we would probably be like low class, or I don't know what's it's called now. But yeah, at the time when I was turning like 15, 16, it would probably be lower middle class. So I did not have anybody to even ask an advice from. Is this a good business idea? Should I try this? Should I try that? Just like most of us. And I couldn't ask anyone. So I had to actually go out and make my own mistakes and try things and fail miserably most of the time. Unfortunately, a lot of the money that I made in the beginning, it was just pissed away on stupidity. And by stupidity, I don't mean drinking and girls and stuff, which was also part of the reason, but also because I was trying to expand and do different businesses and try things and invest my money into different things. Most of the stuff didn't work. I failed a lot. I mean, I failed probably around a dozen times, and it was painful, it was difficult, but at the same time it was fun because each failure was a lesson. I did not take it too hard that, oh, I'm an idiot, the life is unfair, everything is rigged and blah, 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 like most of the people. I was thinking, okay, I was quite dumb here, but now I'm smart because I've made this mistake and I understand why I made it. Those mistakes from which you actually learn something are lessons. Those are not mistakes. A mistake is when you do something, it's bad, and you don't learn shit from it. That's a mistake. And that's how I was progressing. I was learning everything about marketing. I was learning a little bit about sales. I was learning a little bit about being a showman here and there. So it was interesting. So I was learning a lot of the things. And then after all my failures and some small tiny successes, I met my mentor who offered to teach me how to trade and how to put together interesting high-risk trading strategies like with futures and stocks and stuff, because again, I didn't have $1 million to put into long-term investment portfolios to make a living off of it. So I had some money saved up, which was less than even $20,000 to get into the markets, and that's what I pursued. And even then, for a year, I wasn't, well, a bit less than a year, I wasn't even making anything. I was learning, I was practicing, then I started trading, then I failed miserably at it, and part of the blame is on my mentor because of some aspects that he missed in the process of him coaching me, and he never coached anybody before, so he made a few mistakes, and those were very painful for me. So this whole journey, and that's already like me pretty much like 3-4 years into my 10-11 year journey into becoming a successful person, and I'm still very far away from being successful. And then on year 5 and around year 4 or 5, I started making good money in the markets. I succeeded finally, and that was when I made my first 100,000, and then by year around 6, I made my first $1 million, and then it progressed and I was making good money. I moved to long-term investing. I did open a few companies in the process, which were complete failures, so I lost some money there. So basically at the year like 5, 6 out of my 10-11 year long journey, I've succeeded pretty much at 1 or 2 things out of maybe 20. So this is the truth, and there is really no overnight success in this. All of it was experience. And then I saw different opportunities in different other things, and this is when I met my wife, Sophia, and she gave me really great direction, some good ideas, and she helped me to think out of the box. And that's when I started doing quite a lot of interesting ideas. One of the things was the trading education, which is thomaskrallo.com. Now we're doing Krallo Trade Ideas and Executive Margin, and quite a lot of other things are planned as well. thomaskrallo.com is very successful. Then Krallo Trade Ideas is going to be definitely very successful. So will be Executive Margin. And why I say that is because I have experience. I understand the market. I know what people want, and I know how to manage my money, how to minimize expenses, how to optimize taxes. But I did not learn all of this in just one day, and most importantly, how to manage people and how to work with people, because I employ a lot of people. This was a whole big journey of me learning everything from how to walk in the world of business to how to run 5 companies simultaneously, and how to develop things and how to handle people in a nice way to actually improve the performance of any given company. It's been an incredible journey, and I can tell you that most of the people, even on my social media, people see my cars, they see my Rolls Royce, they see the way we live, the kinds of watches I wear, and blah, 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 and the way we travel. travel. So this is something that everybody sees, and they think, oh, look at this young guy, an overnight success, he was just lucky. Jesus Christ, man, I was in a way very fucking unlucky because I failed too many times. I think too many times in the process, but in reality, it wasn't, it had nothing to do with luck. It was just basically building my experience. And when I was ready, I saw an opportunity and I succeeded at it. And even at trading in the very beginning, I succeeded only because I had so much of experience of being persistent at something. If I would have gotten into trading at the very beginning, instead of, I don't know, flipping cars, I would have failed at it 100%. Flipping cars taught me how to manage money, how to invest money, and how to manage your risk in a way. And then in trading, it's all a lot more difficult. So it was a step up. It all happens in steps. As you go, the first steps, and this is also a big thing, what might be quite useful for a lot of you guys, girls, that the first steps are always the most difficult ones. Yeah, a lot of people are saying it's the easiest one. It's not. I mean, the first million is the hardest. And then as you make your first million, you already have experience, you understand what you're doing, at least in a way. You'll already have some kind of a network of different individuals, and you're building from there, and you're going faster and faster and faster and faster. And this engine is just running. Unless you stop and start drinking or doing drugs and stuff, you can go really high, really fast. So you might make 90% of the money in 2 years of, I don't know, out of 20-year period. In the last 2 years of that period, you might make 90% of the money of the total amount from those 20 years. But that doesn't mean that you were suddenly successful, you got lucky. No. You had experience, you built that experience through pain and persistence and perseverance, and you've succeeded just because you were ready to succeed. And this is the path. And that's why I say that there is no such thing as an overnight success. An overnight success is something as winning a lottery. You just buy yourself a lottery ticket on the way home on a gas station with a six-pack, whatever, and you win yourself $50 million. This is overnight success, and it's not really success, it's just luck. But when you're building companies, you're doing things, you're failing, you're learning from your failures, and then in the end, finally, just already losing all hair on your head, a lot of friends in the process, and etc. It's just, quite honestly, in a way, it's both a miserable experience and at the same time an amazing one, because it's a lot of fun. I could never imagine living a 9-to-5 life, just going to work and then going home and not being able to afford the Rolls Royce and just sitting there looking at everybody on Instagram saying, look, he is an overnight success, he was lucky. Some might have been, but for the most, never judge the book by its cover, because behind most young, super young entrepreneurs, you'll find a lifelong, incredibly hard journey. Even if somebody is a millionaire at 22 years old, you never know what he was doing since he was 15. It might have been a 7-year journey from the age of 15 to the age of 22 that made him a millionaire at the age of 22. And this is how it works. No overnight success. Right, it's turned out to be quite a long video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please like the video. All the links to awesome products, as always, down in the description. Cheers, and I'll see you in the next videos.